In this problem, we want to find this half angle value for the sine of theta over 2. So we're going to use the formula plus and minus square root of 1 minus the cosine of the angle, all divided by 2. So in order to use that formula, I have to first take my given information and figure out what the sine, or rather the cosine value is from that triangle. So I'm told it's a first quadrant triangle between 0 and 2 pi. So this is how you draw it. Your angle's here. There's your compass. So first quadrant, where the sine value is y is 1 and the hypotenuse is 4. Because sine is always a ratio of the opposite side to the hypotenuse. And according to Pythagoras, the x value would then be the square root of 15, which is 16 minus 1 and then square rooted. Okay, so I have to have that in order to take my cosine ratio, right? The cosine of this angle is the adjacent side divided by the hypotenuse. So this root 15 over 4 is going to come right here into my nice equation. Okay, and then we'll do all the fantastic algebra that we can do in order to simplify this. So once again, plus and minus square root of 1 minus root 15 over 4, all divided by 2. Okay, so in my numerator of my radical, I have a number minus a fraction. So I'm going to change those into two fractions. So 1 is going to be 4 divided by 4 minus root 15 over 4, all divided by 2. So I have now 4 minus root 15, all divided by 4, divided by 2. Okay, at which point now we're going to say, all right, now rather than dividing by 2, I'm going to multiply by 1/2 and get plus and minus square root 4 minus root 15, all divided by 8. Okay, which is a pretty good answer, but unfortunately many textbooks don't like to leave it like that. They want to do something with this denominator. Believe me, this is weird. They want to make your denominator into a perfect square so that we don't have a radical in the denominator. Okay, so I do that. I mean, you just have to know that that's what your book wants, by multiplying top and bottom by 2 over 2. Okay, because 8 times 2 is going to be 16. 16 is the closest perfect square that I can take 8 and turn it into. Okay, so your teacher may not want you to do this, but if you're looking in the back of your book for an answer, this is definitely how they're going to write it back there. So 2 times 4 is 8, minus 2 roots of 15, all divided by 16. Okay, so now 16 is a perfect square root, so that comes out of the radical and just becomes a 4. So that is how your book will represent this answer, because they don't like having radicals in the denominator. Now me, this is perfectly okay for my algebra classes to do.